Introduction. 2. Literature. Legend of the Holy Stone. Created by Yanni Wardian, Nim V1M22477. Explanation. Narrative text is a type of text that tells a story, either real or fictional, to entertain, teach a moral lesson, or provide an imaginative experience. It typically includes orientation, introduces the characters, setting, and time. Complication, describes the main conflict or problem. Resolution, explains how the problem is resolved. Digital learning about narrative text. The Legend of the Holy Stone. Synopsis. Long ago, in a small village, there was a sacred stone believed to grant blessings to those who prayed sincerely. One day, a greedy man tried to steal the stone, causing disasters to strike the village. The villagers united in sincere prayer, and the stone restored peace to the village. The legend teaches the importance of sincerity and warns against greed. The Legend of the Holy Stone. Orientation. A long time ago, up on the Cambourama mountain, there were two villages, Cambourama and Arompu. Cambourama was a residence for Camboi people, and Arompu was a sago plantation owned by god Irwanawani, who also owned a taifa. Whenever the taifa allied, the Camboi people would gather. Every day, the Camboi women would go to Arompu to cut sago for their meals. As time passed by, the sago trees were becoming scarcer. God Irwanawani got really angry. Get out of here. Don't just cut but sow and plant, because they were scared. The Camboi people moved to the coastal area and named themselves Ranjayavi. However, upon the mountain, there still lived a couple of husband and wife, Irimiami and Isari. Complication. One day, on their way home after a hunt in the jungle, being tired, Irimiami and Isari decided to rest. Irimiami sat on the ground leaning on a tree. Meanwhile, Isari was still finding a place to sit. She saw a large stone and thought that it would be comfortable to sit on. As she sat, all of a sudden, Isari shouted and jumped off the stone. Ouch! The stone is so hot that I almost got burned. Isari cried. What is it, dear? Irimiami, who almost fell asleep, immediately stood up, startled by his wife's screams. I don't know what happened either, but this stone feels really hot, answered Isari in panic. A short time later, in their astonishment, smoke came out of that stone. Curious, Irimiami tried to sit on that stone. Ouch, tea's really hot, he shouted. Becoming more curious, the couple decided to test the stone's heat. How if we put this venison on that stone? Said Irimiami. Let's just try, dear, answered Isari. Exquisite smells came from the burning meat. As it was ready, they ate them up. What a delicious piece of meat, or this meat is so delicious, Irimiami said happily. And satisfied with what they had found, they continued testing the stone. Let's try to put these bamboo stems, said Isari. Let's try these grass and leaves, Irimiami added. How about that timber? Shouted Isari. Day by day, they kept on testing the stone. One bright day, they gathered more grasses and put them in the stone. The grasses burned quickly and spread to the surrounding plants. The fire got bigger. They started to panic. My husband, we've burned this place, Isari cried in fear. It's a big disaster and we can't stop. Let's meet God Irwanawani for help, said Irimiami in tremble. They ran to God Irwanawani. My lord, please help us put out the fire, begged them. Well, I shall help on the condition that you stop that harming act of yours, said the god. Resolution. We promise, my lord, they said, with a magical power. The fire could finally be stopped. Nevertheless, it seemed that they had not learned from their mistakes. They kept on testing the stone, until one day they started a really big fire that did not stop for 7 days and nights. They were really terrified and could not do anything. Asked God Irwanawai for help. Finally, the sounds of the taifa were heard again after a long time. All Ranjayavi people ran to Camboi Mountain, witnessed the burning forest which was again successfully extinguished by God Irwanawani. On the mountain, Iremiami and Isare finally told the story of the Holy Stone. The following day, all Ranjaivi people came back to the mountain bringing food items. All those food items were put on the Holy Stone and the traditional feast took place for 3 days and nights. All the people chanted and danced around the Holy Stone, worshipping it and passing the Holy Stone story. People of Papua, particularly those of the Yapen Islands, sanctify the fire stone hitherto. The stone has become a sacred stone that they worship annually. Instructions. After reading a story, answer the question correctly. Pay attention to the instructions to help you answer the questions. Thank you for watching. Answer the questions on a sheet of paper, then submit your answer sheet to the teacher.